That's right. We're back.
Yeah! Luke's in another country.
It's true. So I happen to be on vacation right now in the Outer Banks, which is why I have this fancy new house here. Potentially a little blurry. Josh is a little blurry for me.
It's a little janky, but we'll make it work.
As long as you can hear all our bad advice, that's all that matters.
Can't stop the fantasy hot takes.
But we're back for week 3 of the fantasy football podcast.
Yes. How are you, Luke?
I'm good.
How's your fucking vacation, you asshole?
Well, it's only been okay because the hurricanes have sort of thrown a wrench into the mix for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
Today was the first day where it was actually sunny and nice outside, so we could go to the beach.
And you got there on Friday, right?
Saturday we came down, yeah.
Oh, you were supposed to go on Thursday, but you had issues.
Well, I did. We still left Thursday. I had some car trouble for those.
You left.
So we got the car fixed, and then we left Thursday. We spent a couple days in Virginia, and then we come here.
Okay.
With my in-laws. This is all courtesy of the in-laws.
Oh, that's nice of them.
You know, so we make dinner, we buy drinks.
Oh yeah.
Been having some of those.
What are you drinking? What's your drink of choice this week?
Well, you'll find out this evening what my drink of choice is. And I think everyone waiting and watching at home already has sort of an inkling about what I'm drinking tonight.
I think I also know.
But typically, you know, some fun beers.
Yeah.
And a lot of Jack and a lot of ginger ale.
Oh, yeah. I could go for some of that right now. You drinking out of like a styrofoam cup?
No, the houses all have these goofy cups. It has like seahorses and shit all over it.
Yeah, I can't hardly see it, but I'll take your word for it.
Can't hardly see it. That's the sequel to Can't Hardly Wait.
I'd watch it. I would watch it.
Hang on here. I got something for you.
I'd watch it.
Not the game that I go out there and die for.
Practice.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice. Practice, man. I mean, how silly is that?
I agree, Alan AI.
Tonight's soundboard brought to you by AI. The answer, Allen Iverson, the greatest Philadelphia 76er to play while I was alive.
He's going to go to the South Philly Applebee's and drop $10,000.
Y'all hear it, then that's that.
Oh man, how you doing now? You still, you know, liking it up in wherever we're from?
Yeah, it's great here. It's pretty nice here. It's been pretty nice. It's pretty warm today.
Oh, was it?
It is all right. It's getting fallish, which is good. I'm talking to you like you haven't been here in months.
Well, the last time I left, it was kind of shitty, and then I came down here, and it was like 90 today, so I'm all out of whack.
That's hot. That's too hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like 70-ish, 75, which is pretty nice. So I'm digging. I got my Flyers beanie on.
Flyers beanie, that's relevant for one of tonight's listener questions.
I saw that. I didn't plan it, but it just happened to be that way.
But I do want to say we actually did get our first listener email.
Oh, shit. Our first email.
Which was sort of cheating because we told one listener in particular he had some homework, and that was to email us.
Okay.
And he did. So
he did his homework.
He did his homework. So Andrew Jadzik, however you pronounce his name. I haven't learned how to do it yet because he's still beneath me.
I met him, so he's not beneath me. He gave us cheese, so we have to be nice to him.
Okay, you're right.
It was delicious Wisconsin cheese.
I'm going to read this listener email in its entirety.
Yes.
Put on your Casey Kasem music. And here we go.
I don't know what that
is. When Casey Kasem hosted like the top 40, he'd like take emails or letters and like, dear Casey, I've been listening to your show for 35 years and nothing gets my motor going. Listening to Amanda by Barry Manilow. And then he would play.
Can't hardly wait.
All right. Andrew writes, there is some info for the Mars Cheese Castle. I've only been there once, and that was when it was just a side-of-the-road building and not a recreated castle facade.
Okay.
Always fun to browse a store that has a lot of certain specific type of thing, like a really cool guitar store with walls filled with hundreds of different guitars.
Uh-huh.
Just so much variation available that it is overwhelming, but in a good way.
No choice paralysis, just in awe.
My question in itself was just an attempt to inject humor, but after thinking about it, there is a real point regarding state lines and team affiliation. Oh, we just got real serious.
Oh, wow. This is turning into a super good question.
Yeah. Dear Penthouse, you'll never believe what happened next.
Oh, no.
The part of Wisconsin where that store, and used to be at least 2 other cheese shops too, is just over the border from Illinois and Kenosha, Wisconsin. There are many that claim allegiance to the Bears fan base.
Right.
Wasn't
Buddy Holly?
No, the John Candy.
Yeah.
Wasn't his band in Home Alone from Kenosha?
I believe so. So was Buddy Holly. I think it's a reference to Buddy Holly.
Oh, I see. Home Alone. The
if I'm
greatest
wrong,
movie
people will tell me.
Ever made.
It is.
But as Josh knows, when we met in July at the Phillies game, thus making all other listeners tremendously jealous.
Yes.
I am from Trenton, and out in New Jersey, team allegiance is more fluid. That's fair. You could be Eagles, Giants, Jets.
If you really
mostly everybody there is like a Yankee fan though, because they losers.
Yeah.
I used to be an Eagles fan and a Yankees fan. So I was wondering your thoughts about how you chose your teams to root for, or any other thought about geographical distance factors, and even being a contrarian to your family and friends. Do those ideals figure into that? Anyway, if my irreverent questions are not welcome, just tell me to stop. Baseball is my number 1 sport, and I'm casual about the Packers. Never been to Lambeau yet, even though I've been out here in Milwaukee since 1995, and have yet to be in a fantasy football league.
Wow.
I'm tuning into the show for the banter, the sense of humor, and I've enjoyed you guys since the redacted years. Oh, and if you need a cheese sponsorship, I'll mail some out your way. I think certain kinds of cheese don't need to be refrigerated if it's factory sealed. Just let me know.
Yeah, those are
sincerely Andrew Jadzik.
Jadzik. I think it's Jadzik. I'm probably saying it wrong, like an idiot.
Jack Attack. Andrew Jack Attack.
A Jack Attack. Those are great questions. So many great questions. I mean, I think you and I like all Philly sports because we're from here, so that's why. That's easy. I never felt the need to be contrarian, like Cowboys fans who live here, which is absurd. Just absurd. Like, get the fuck out. You're a filthy human being. If you're from Philadelphia and you like the Cowboys, get out of my sight.
But they're America's team.
That's right, America's. Yeah. There used to be an old lady who used to work at my parents' store who liked the Steelers, and she was from here. And we were like, "Why do you like the Steelers?" And she was like, "Because they're the only Pennsylvania team." And we were like,
"Oh shit!"
And we were we were like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Yeah, they're the only team from Pennsylvania." And we're like, "Philadelphia Eagles," and she's like, "Philadelphia isn't in Pennsylvania." She believed that Philadelphia was not in Pennsylvania. This lady did not graduate past the 8th grade, and that is why you should go to high school, because
out of all the practices this year, that's enough.
That's enough.
It's not about that at all. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
this is the new best soundboard.
I have no idea what. I know they're all from that monologue, but I have no idea what the tone is going to be, and if it's going to like sync up with what you're talking about.
Well, we're just shotgunning here. One of them will hit.
I can't believe that. Philadelphia is not Pennsylvania.
It's not Pennsylvania. She was a super old lady, and she died like 20 years ago. But
did she think that like Philadelphia was still the capital, and that was actually where it was in Washington D.C.? Was she that old?
I think she was like, yeah. She was thinking of the colonies, and like Philadelphia was a colony.
Did she sign John Hancock?
Yes, she did. Ben Franklin. He liked to have sex with people, like other historical figures didn't. What was the other question?
Well, he said the main question was
right.
How do you feel about team allegiances and that kind of thing, and how did we establish ours? I'll agree that primarily I am indeed a Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, and Sixers fan, of course.
Sixers, yeah.
Always actually been a Sixers fan.
Mm-hmm.
Always been an Eagles fan. Phillies, I came on late.
Yeah.
I'm originally a Los Angeles Dodgers fan, and that was actually out of spite.
Yeah.
Because my younger cousin, who I grew up with, was a huge San Francisco Giants fan.
Oh yeah.
And when we used to play, like RBI baseball or whatever,
right?
Like I'd always want to be the Dodgers, so we did a rivalry that way. But I, of course, actually love the team. I still love the team today. They're like my West Coast team that I root for once the Phillies are eliminated from contention.
Plus, they got ugly, and they
have the handsomest second baseman to ever play the game.
Yep. So that's cool.
But other than that, like that's my jam. I think being contrarian was okay for me because I didn't take it like super serious. I was just a kid. It's not
when you're a kid,
I hate you, Dad. I'm listening to fucking Seether.
Twisted Sister.
Yeah. But I also, the only thing that bothers me is when people who have lived in a certain area for their whole lives really just hate. I don't care if you like the Cowboys. I care if you live here your whole life, love the Cowboys, and hate the Eagles.
Right. That's what pisses me off. Like, literally the only reason that you like the Cowboys, there's two reasons. If you're from here and you like the Cowboys, is you're trying to piss people off and you like winning, which like the Cowboys haven't been doing since like the mid 90s anyway. So like, at that point now it's like kind of pointless. I know every year they're going to win, right? Every year the Cowboys are going to win the fucking Super Bowl, but they haven't in like 22 years. So, so those are the only two reasons. And that really pisses me off too. Like just like forgetting about the Eagles and being like, oh, I don't like them because they're bad. It's like, that doesn't matter. Like they'll be good at some point and then you're going to look like a big dickhole. We already kind of do look like a big dickhole.
And that's kind of like what's endeared so many people to this team. Like even when they suck, you're not allowed to tell us they suck.
Right.
We have to tell you how bad they suck.
Yes.
Only we know.
It's a cult. It's a super cult. Like people who are not Eagles fans from Philadelphia don't understand it, but it's a whole language. Like it's a very subtle. We're like Klingons. Like you kind of have to know how to deal with us a little bit. You know what I mean? Like we have our own like set of rules that we follow.
Speaking of Klingons, I believe that's a nice way to tease that you are also involved in another podcast.
Yeah.
That people can listen to if they happen to be listening to this one. And like Klingons, that's a reference I understand.
I understood that reference as well.
The M-Class podcasts.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit.
Every couple of weeks, I don't know. I'm recording one on Saturday. We talk about a Star Trek movie or a show episode, and we are idiots and we make jokes and we have bits that we do and we talk about how much we love Star Trek.
Very different from many of the other podcasts you were involved on.
Yes. Very different.
Just swap things out. This is a podcast where we talk about video games and act like idiots. This is a show where we talk about sports. But we don't talk like idiots.
Oh, no.
We talk very smart. But what we say ends up making us look like idiots when everything we say is a lie.
It's not true, yeah.
Yes.
Turns out to be not the case.
So, if you could, you might say this show is a little bit like...
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
That's
practice, man.
That's
how silly is that?
It keeps going. That's everything. It's just every time now. That's gonna be the thing. Oh boy, I can't wait.
I wonder what other soundboards I'm gonna find over the course of the next 16 weeks. Oh,
playoffs! That one.
I did try to find a good Macho Man one, but they were all like, "Get in the ring," and I was like, "That doesn't make any sense for this."
Yeah, but Macho Man is great. Rest in peace.
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace, Macho Man.
All right, so we're all caught up. I guess it's time to just get to the nitty gritty. People are here to learn about what we have to say about fantasy football.
Sure.
So week 2 is over. We're heading into week 3. This is really where you're going to start to find players, if players are just trendy or if this is going to be something more, right? Like as you start getting to the end of the first month, you have a better idea of how teams are going to use players you thought were your good sleepers.
Right.
Whether or not players filling in for injury are good enough that like maybe the guy that comes back from injury isn't going to be the guy anymore.
Right.
So we got a couple hot waiver wire picks for you this week.
Oh boy.
I keep looking away. I don't have my usual setup with my twin screens.
That's okay.
I have to have laptops all over in this tiny, tiny room. Number 1 on the list, and this is a guy I've had on 2 teams since the beginning of the season, just on a deep sleeper hope that he would be the guy. But running back Chris Carson for the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay.
Eddie Lacy is basically a non-factor at this point.
I think pretty much every running back on the Seattle Seahawks is a non-factor at this point.
Well, not entirely, but
is Chris Carson is he doing all right?
Well, so yeah, and he did okay in game 1, the backfield was still kind of like questionable. So you waited to see for Thomas Rawls, the incumbent, so to speak, to come back, and he didn't. I
had him.
A lot.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot.
He did not do a whole lot. But Chris Carson threw 2 games. In the first game, 6 for 39, but that game was a real, headbutt. That Green Bay game where it was like 9-6 was the final or something like that. But last week against San Francisco, 20 carries, 93 yards. Obviously got the lion's share of the work at 20 carries, and I think he's only going to go up from there. He doesn't have a very tough stretch coming up: Tennessee, Indiana, and the LA Rams. Then they're on a bye week. I think that's 3 weeks in a row that you could potentially get some good mileage out of that guy in a low upside running back to high upside flex.
Sure. What worries me is the Seattle offensive line is hot, wet garbage.
Oh, for sure.
Terrible. I think Brian Baldinger posted on Twitter the other day a clip of all of them being on the ground at the same time, and whoever I forget who they're playing this week, just swarming the running back. And Baldinger was like, "This is terrible," and that offense is not doing great. But maybe the running game will save them. Maybe they'll be able to pass a little more if Chris Carson gets going a little bit. But he ran for 93 yards. That's pretty good. That's
San Francisco's not the San Francisco of old, but they're no joke.
Sure,
they're really good linebackers still.
Yeah.
Elsewhere in the running back realm, Chris Thompson. I hate recommending people from the Washington football team.
Yeah, me too.
But Fat Rob Kelly's just not getting the job done.
No, he's not.
Perrine is still, got some kinks to work out, we'll say. Some kinks to work out. But Chris Thompson, over the first 2 games of the season, 6 rushes, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 catches, 80 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, a lot of that came last week, but I think that's an indication of what's to come, not a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah, like you were saying, this is when we're getting into the, like, these are going to be your guys, right? Like,
right.
For the real football teams, and then you have to adjust fantasy-wise accordingly.
Yeah, not every guy that comes out and is a helpful star for the team is going to be a fantasy stud.
Right.
But, we're getting into, week 3, week 4 is also when you're going to find those guys on your waiver wire that aren't going to win you a season, but they're going to help you win 2 or 3 weeks, which will help you
win the season.
Hopefully win your season, right?
Yeah, it's all about that chance to get to win the season, and then unless you're me, and then you have no chance.
Hey, we're both 1-1, baby.
That's true, but I did real bad.
Sorry, we're gonna spend some time at the end of this episode because we got some hot-blooded listener questions coming.
I saw the last one. Oh man!
All right. Elsewhere, we Javorius Buck Allen, the Baltimore running back. Last week really showed he's here to be the guy. Terrence West, I thought, was going to be the man down there, and that's just not the case. 35 carries, 137 yards, 5 catches, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Baltimore is performing a lot better than I thought they would this early in the season.
Yeah.
And I think a large part of that is due to Allen's play.
A good running back, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't have named – honestly, I couldn't have named one Baltimore running back. Sorry, Ravens. You're, like, super close to us, but I know you're like a mystery to me.
You know Joe Flacco.
I know Joe.
Jeremy Maclin, and that's it.
And they had Steve Smith, and then he retired. He was fun.
He did retire.
He was fun to have when he wasn't dying of old age.
He's still fast. Fastest man on planet. All right. In the wide receiver realm, we're looking at J.J. Nelson as from Arizona as a significant stopgap for John Brown's injury.
Yeah.
Nelson last week lit it up.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get that every week from him.
No.
But if you are in desperate need of someone to fill in because you had John Brown,
yeah,
J.J. Nelson's your guy. If you have another wide receiver who's not performing, someone like Mike Wallace, someone like any of the Jacksonville wide receivers,
yeah,
I think Nelson's a nice little stopgap kind of guy to bet on right now.
I picked him up. On my other league, I got rid of Sterling Shepard because I don't think anybody on the Giants is ever going to catch football ever again.
Yeah, that was a good pickup. That was you forecasted it ahead of time.
I saw it.
And strangely enough, we're going to recommend Jermaine Kearse, who was traded from Seattle to the Jets. He's like the only guy doing anything on the Jets. But he's performing really well. Let me just bring those up real quick. But I was just as surprised as anyone that they had any reliable points coming in from literally any player. But over the last 2 games, 11 catches, 123 yards, 2 TDs. That's
pretty good for the Jets. That's incredible.
For the Jets, that's incredible. But I mean, from a fantasy standpoint, you're looking at 560-1. I mean, you can't really complain about those kind of stats from a guy.
Jermaine Kearse wants to play for another team. That's what that says to me.
That is what that says to me, too.
He wants to have a career somewhere. That's not the Jets.
Now, we also got some people not to buy the hype on.
Okay.
Joe Flacco.
Sure. I would never buy the hype on Joe Flacco. He's like...
Yeah, go ahead.
He's like mini wheats, but without the frosting. Like, pretty good, but I'm not gonna go fucking bananas over some shitty ass like unfrosted mini wheats.
Do they sell just like
they do
mini wheats?
They do. You didn't know that because why would you buy them?
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it's stupid. But like, I don't know. Like, I have Flacco as a backup in my NFL.com league. That league also, my starter is Russell Wilson. So like, yeah, but I wouldn't be like, oh, Flacco's gonna have a huge game.
Right.
He might throw like 2 TDs or
I think Flacco is at the stage in his career now too where he's along those lines of like the Alex Smiths and the Sam Bradford, where he's a game manager who is going to have that week where he's like, he threw for 4 touchdowns. You should have started him, you idiot. But primarily, you're looking at 250, 1-1.
1-1. Yeah. 1-1.
Despite his success with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots this past weekend, I'm not buying the hype on Phil Dorsett.
Oh, I forgot. I was like, Philip Dorsett on the Colts.
There's a reason he keeps getting like nothing, and all of a sudden he has like one good game, right? But they need wide receivers. Some of their guys are hurt. Dorsett's probably going to play. If he ends up keeping a streak like this up, I'll gladly admit my mea culpa.
Yeah.
But I just don't believe in Phil Dorsett because Phil Dorsett hasn't done anything in his career of note until last week.
Right.
And once again, we'd like to remind you not to draft anybody or pick up anybody on Jacksonville.
The tip of the South.
Yes, they had a decent game, Allen Hurns and Marquise Lee, but those two are just going to be jockeying for all the same receptions.
Yeah.
And one guy's going to have a great game and one guy's not. And you don't know who it's going to be.
Yep.
So you don't want to be the guy that bet on Allen Hurns and then Marquise Lee blows up. And you definitely don't want to play both of them.
No. Splitting your chances there. That's not. Yeah, I mean, you got Bortles, right? He's the quarterback. I mean, like, just linear logic, right? Like, if the ball starts here and this guy's terrible, then these guys are not going to do very well.
No, that's fair. I mean, hey, look, that's why so many teams are constantly in search of that franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You build from that position outward, unless you're somebody, like Seattle or the Ravens. I mean, I know that Seattle ended up getting Russell Wilson, but that team was built to stop people and then maybe score points.
Maybe get a field goal or 7.
Yes. But now we've reached one of the best parts of the show. It's time for our weekly sponsor, non-sponsor sponsors. Today's, actually week 2's, not just today's. Week 2's Monster Game of the Week, sponsored by Monster Ultra, 0 calories, 0 sugar, ultra flavor.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. That's such a beautiful sound.
Look at that Monster. Ultra Red, the drink, the official drink of M. Luke Brown. This week's Monster Game of the Week goes to Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Obviously. Holy shit. 447, 3 touchdowns. 30 for 39. That's
a lot of yards.
Better than 75% accuracy.
It's pretty good. Pretty good game. For almost
I can't believe we even considered for 1 second that he would have a worse game than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing about him. He just gets like, I don't know. He gets like, he like summons something, and you can never count him out. Like, I hate Tom Brady. I don't hate him, but like I don't like Tom Brady. But yeah, man, that's those are some ridiculous numbers. How many points did he score? Who had him in our league?
Oh, in our other league, I don't know. I didn't actually look at how many points he put up in either league because I was like highest scoring guy of the week without a doubt.
A lot.
But like I don't think anybody outscored him. So that's how you earn the Monster Game of the Week, kids. Sponsored by Monster Ultra, 0 calories, 0 sugar, ultra flavor. But you did pick Tom Brady for your QB of the week.
I did.
You do kind of get to have your monster and drink it too.
That's right. I kind of cheated a little bit. I forget exactly what my circular logic was, but I just know with him, like, he just has a way of just pulling these games out of his butt. I don't know. And he gets real mad or something. He goes home to Giselle and doesn't like to see her cry, so he plays a dirty game. I don't know.
It's true. And then that brings us to
my favorite sponsor.
The boner roster move of the week, sponsored by Fleshlight. When you need to make a boner, make it in a Fleshlight.
That's right.
Don't make it on your roster.
Nope.
This week's boner roster move of the week, sponsored by Fleshlight. Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
If you played Matt Stafford because we said so, we're sorry.
Sorry about that.
122 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a fumble.
Yeah,
not a great game.
Not a great game. They won, it was great to see the Giants. That's how bad the Giants are. Is that
Very
one. That
Very
won
true.
the Giants or the Lions the game. But yeah, fantasy-wise, that is not great. Not good. Sorry.
Hey, sometimes you're going to have that.
Yeah.
That's why it's a weekly sponsor, because you're going to make boner roster moves.
That's right.
Sponsored by Fleshlight. All right, now for my second favorite part of the show.
Okay.
Listener questions.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you again, everybody, for adding us at this week's hashtag Weekend Bake, where the E was a 3.
Uh-huh.
I tried to get cute with them.
Pretty good.
We'll see what happens. I got to really focus on what week 4 is going to be, but we'll find out.
Yeah, it could be an
All
A.
right.
You can make the 4 an A. See? That's why I'm on the show. I'm the idea boy.
He is the idea boy. You are the Chris Collinsworth to my Al Michaels.
Oh, my God. That's the worst.
Tony Romo to my Phil Simms.
Oh.
No, Phil Nance.
Ugh.
Can we talk? I got to tell you. No, listen. Tony Romo's excellent.
I didn't watch him. I didn't see him. I haven't seen him yet.
I was down here. We got all kinds of stupid games in North Carolina.
Yeah, because it's not a real place.
Romo was...
Was he great? He did the San Francisco?
The dude is a great color game. Just
Yeah.
a great color game.
That's cool.
Very knowledgeable, explaining things in a way that made you feel smart.
Okay.
Very good.
I'll check it out.
He'll be on the CBS. I think it was it had to be the New England game.
Was it?
It had to be, because that was the game on CBS, wasn't it?
I don't know. I watch. I have ways of watching any game.
Right. But you still get to see games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll next week I'll pick one if he's not doing a 1 o'clock. If it's not when the Eagles are playing, I'll check him out. I would love to watch him. I don't hate Tony Romo for as Cowboysy as he is. I appreciate him as a guy, as a human.
Yeah. No, he'll have a great career in the booth, I think.
Yeah.
Much better so than Smokin' Jay Cutler, which is why I think Smokin' Jay Cutler came back to the NFL.
Yeah, he wasn't as charismatic. Can't smoke in the booth either, so.
He probably can. Who's going to tell Jay Cutler no? He's smoking Jay Cutler.
Wouldn't that be amazing if it went back to 1962 and you just see Jay Cutler smoking on camera? Holy shit. People would lose their fucking minds. Holy shit.
Listener questions. Woo! All right. First question tonight comes from @BanjoStory.
Uh-huh.
Who's your favorite North Dakotian? Carson Wentz or Dave Haxtell?
Is Dave Haxtell from North Dakota?
Evidently.
I think he's from Canada.
Hey, I'm just following the listener questions here.
I'm looking it up.
I don't make people's geography up.
Let's look up on his Wikipedia.
I trust that my listeners know their shit enough to come correct.
Oh, he I think coached North Dakota in the NCAA hockey, college hockey. He coached, but he is from Alberta, Canada. I guess that counts. because they don't have a lot of people in North Dakota. So if you coach there, you're from North Dakota.
Okay. All right. I'm still going Carson Wentz.
Yeah, he's a redhead also, and we're great. So,
but my logic is Dave Haxtell hasn't won us anything, and the Flyers need winning.
Yeah.
Whereas Carson Wentz is Carson Wentz.
He looks great. He's looking real good. Like I'm pretty comfortable with Carson Wentz. Like I'm like we're gonna be all right. It feels like it felt like early McNabb days where like it's not as like razzle dazzle like McNabb would pull out some crazy. Well, the first week he did that. Maybe it is like that exactly. I don't know. So yeah, Carson Wentz all the way.
But it's easy to talk about. It's easy to sum it up.
It's easy to sum it up. Right there it was.
There it is.
That's how you did it.
That's it. It's easy.
In America.
Yeah.
All right. This is probably my favorite question of the week.
This is absolutely my favorite.
About fantasy football.
Yes.
This comes from @Bosby_.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins hasn't performed. Is it time to panic? Is it time to drop him for Carson Wentz?
It's time. It's time. And I don't think
I concur.
It's just logic, honestly. Like, I'm not a huge Cousins guy. I never was one of these Cousins. Like, I don't know what happened. I guess he won that game and he made that catchphrase up. I guess everyone loved that. But
you like that?
You like that? Yeah, that one. I'm not a huge Cousins guy. I'll go pretty much anybody over Cousins. And Wentz is looking great. So I'm going Wentz.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you still have Carson Wentz on the waiver wire is impressive enough.
That's crazy.
Because I would consider him in the second tier of quarterbacks from a fantasy football points perspective, of course. I'd like to know who your other quarterback is that you're thinking of dropping Cousins for Wentz before you I say go ahead and pull that trigger. But Wentz is showing a little bit more, and you know the Eagles are going to be throwing the football.
Yeah.
You would think the same for Washington, but they've shown that even when they're throwing it, they're just not doing anything. You know, Cousins right now, 419 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick, 7 rushes for 37 yards. Carson Wentz through 2 games, 640 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, 8 rushes for 60.
Yeah, all around better. 2 fumbles,
Small sample size again, but you're seeing now going into week 3, going into week 4, that's who these guys are going to be. And I think you're not seeing Cousins regress in his skill set so much as the team around him isn't as strong as it was 1, 2, or even 3 years ago.
Yeah, they don't have Deshaun Jackson to take the top off anymore. I've got Terrell Pryor, and it's been Terrell Priable, terrible Pryor. It's been horrible.
That's a good joke. I liked it. But yeah, it's not time to panic, but I seriously consider the Wentz upgrade.
Yeah, agreed.
Here we got another. You like this one?
I like this one. I have something to say about this one.
I hope so.
I got lots to say.
This comes from @KJSandwich_15.
Okay.
I have Sammy Watkins. I need to replace them with one of these wide receivers.
Okay.
Randall Cobb, T.Y. Hilton, or Chris Hogan.
There's a lot going on in this question that I need to talk about.
Yes.
I learned today that Sammy Watkins is a flat earther. He believes that the earth is flat. I love Randall Cobb's eyes. When I was watching the game, I was like, that dude's eyes are pretty as fuck. And T.Y. Hilton, we should have a fucking soundboard for every time T.Y. Hilton gets mentioned on this fucking show. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I wish we could soundboard this, so I would record it. Just T.Y. Hilton.
We could do it.
T.Y. Hilton.
I'll download it. I'll make a clip. I'll send it to you.
That'll be good. I agree with you 100% about Randall Cobb's eyes.
Yes.
Almost 150% agreement.
They're beautiful.
Those are some sparklers.
They're
like if you see those across the room, you're done.
You're done. Marry him.
Yeah.
Just marry him.
I think on that alone, you have your answer.
Yeah.
But the stats back it up as well.
Yeah.
Randall Cobb, so far this season, 15 catches, 145 yards on 21 targets.
Yep.
21 targets. So he's getting targeted at least 10 times per game.
Pretty good.
T.Y. Hilton, 7 for 106, 13 targets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just barely 50% catch rate.
Yeah, it's
and Chris Hogan, 6 for 86 and a touchdown on 11 targets. Again, the New England players, one guy's going to have the game.
Yeah.
And everybody else is just going to have okay games.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
If you have Randall Cobb or somehow Randall Cobb is available, that's the guy you want to replace Sammy Watkins. And then do whatever you want with Sammy Watkins, because the Buffalo Bills did it too. They were like, just go.
Yeah. Because he probably was talking that flat earth bullshit in the locker room, and they're like, we can't have this fucking crazy shit. This is insane. The earth is clearly not flat.
How do you explain gravity?
It's the ice wall. Keeps the water in.
How do birds fly?
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's bad though, right? He's terrible.
Yeah. No, he's bad.
He'll get hurt also.
We got two coming in from @HeckYouPaul.
Great name.
One's kind of tough. The other one is very simple. Titans running backs. Should I avoid starting either one of them? Should I start both? What do I do with Titans running backs?
I don't like starting two players from the same team. Usually ever. Right. Unless I'm desperate. I don't know enough about Derrick Henry right now. I know he trucked, what's his name? Jalen Ramsey. He ran him over to score, I think, last week or maybe the week before. Might have been last week.
I think it was last week, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I would go Derrick Henry. DeMarco Murray, what happened? Is he being DeMarco Murray again? Is he done being good at football this season? I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, so the Titans had a bit of a rough game rushing the ball in the first game against Oakland. And then right at the start of their game last week, Murray had a hamstring problem.
Okay.
So when Henry filled in, he blew up. 14 rushes, 91 yards since he went down.
Right.
Now, hamstring injuries, those are those game-time decision kind of injuries. And I would say even if Murray is a go at game time, you gotta go with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
If you have to pick one of these guys to start, if you're hoping one of these guys is your RB2 or your RB1,
right.
You've got to make that decision. I would go with Henry at least until you get the 100% Murray's healthy. Sorry, I had to burp. I didn't want you to hear that.
Okay, I'm fine with it. I'm totally cool with it. Just burp away.
But DeMarco Murray, last year he was phenomenal.
Yeah, he was great.
He was phenomenal last year. And that guy's hopefully still there if you drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
But if he's a little gimpy right now, sorry. You'll find out soon. Oh, just me. Sorry you drafted him and you didn't get Henry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Henry's a safe bet because Tennessee can run.
Yeah.
Tennessee can run.
Yeah. Agreed.
HeckYouPaul's follow-up question.
Okay.
What is the best defense to all the kids these days are saying, what are the best defenses to stream this week? Back when I grew up, you just said, what defense am I playing this week?
Wait. What is this?
That's the new thing. You stream a defense. You don't
stream a defense.
Yeah, it's weird.
I don't like it. I don't get it. What's like? Are they going on Twitch and streaming?
Yeah,
they're streaming the defense.
That's right.
All right.
So I don't know what defenses.
Yeah, I don't know.
This guy has, of course.
Right.
But there are 3 defenses that you'll want to play this week if you can have them, if you do have them, or if you can find them on the waiver wire. Ravens defense.
Picked them up myself in my other league.
I picked them up myself too. They're playing out of this world right now. Top defense in ESPN. I believe they're also the top defense in Yahoo. Mm-hmm. Eagles defense. Yes. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, the number one reason to pick the Ravens also is because of playing Jacksonville in London.
Yeah,
London games. 9:30. London games are defense. Like, here we come. We're defensing you up.
The gravity is different in London because of the flat Earth.
Oh.
It's a little more, so balls don't go far enough, and it's tougher to play there.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Plus all that coal smog in the air. It's tough to breathe.
The Eagles are playing the New York Giants.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Play the Eagles.
Yes, please. I'm like salivating over this game.
Yeah, it's like we were really afraid of this team and its wide receivers knowing our cornerback situation. And literally every team the Giants have played has just demolished them so badly the receivers were inconsequential.
They're terrible. That Giants team, and like I know it's like the NFC East, and anything can happen in the NFC East. That's still true, very, very true. But the Giants right now are dog shit. They're bad. So I want to see. There's going to be fumbles. Eli is going to be carted off in a stretcher. Mark my words.
Wow, mark his words. I'm pretty sure if any accidents happen, it's because somebody slipped on Ben McAdoo's hair gel.
I pulled up for the next question. There's a question coming up. I pulled up a bunch of Ben McAdoo jokes.
Oh, good.
On Reddit, people love making fun of Ben McAdoo. So
that's great. All right. And finally, the third defense you should try to pick up, Steelers defense, playing Chicago.
Oh, God.
Chicago may get a score or two.
Yeah.
But they're bad.
They're super bad. They're almost they're like, are they worse than the Jets? Maybe.
Hey, I mean, close. Hey, Mike Glennon, quarterback of the right now until Mitchell Trubisky is ready to go.
That's Trubisky. Okay.
All right, we're gonna go right. We're gonna go right to the Ben McAdoo. We'll come back to the other one in my order. Ben McAdoo, weirdo creep or greaseball wannabe good fella. This comes from @YoJoshRob.
Yo, Josh Rob. Yeah, so on Reddit during a Giants game, and they have like 47 primetime games. So I usually follow like the Reddit thread for the game. It's people just like it's like a message board, and I just read like the things that people are saying. People make fun of him all the time, and somebody on the Eagles Reddit compiled. I'll give him credit. Tommaso LP on the Eagles Reddit combined a bunch of them. His favorite McAdoo jokes.
Okay.
Ben McAdoo owns a female body inspector T-shirt.
That's the best joke.
That's the best one. Ben McAdoo looks like he covers his ears during a fire alarm. Ben McAdoo sends out all of his team memos in Comic Sans.
Oh, man. Sick burn.
Ben McAdoo looks like he refers to his wife as Mrs. McAdoo. It's like the reverse Chuck Norris joke, right? It's like a reverse. Some of those are pretty good. I hate the Giants. Man. I don't think I can answer this question fairly. I don't like the Giants, so.
Well, what's funny, I was talking about this with some of the guys, Brent and Jim, who you know, and I was like, man, what's up with this guy?
Yeah.
Is grease in his hair? Does he think he's like Tony Soprano? Did he get involved with the thing? But one of them was like, he's like, no. He's not that good. He's like the garbage man in like episode 4 of the 3rd season that tries to muscle in, and then he winds up getting compacted because he mouthed off to Tony the wrong way.
Yeah, something. Yeah. I don't know. Whatever he's doing, I think he should keep doing it because they are terrible, and I would love for him to be fired, and I hate the Giants. Fuck the Giants.
I hope that answered your question, yo, Josh Rob. All right, back to serious business.
Yes.
At Silver Ward sent this one in super hot.
Mm-hmm.
Am I starting Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr this week?
Oh,
now,
man.
First of all, congratulations to you for getting both Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I don't know what the rest of your team looks like, but you got those two quarterbacks. You're pretty healthy.
Yeah, you're good to go. The Raiders play the the Washington team. And the Packers play the Bengals. Oh, my God. I would go Aaron Rodgers because the Bengals are super not great.
Yeah, just the fact that it's in Lambeau, right? Rodgers isn't going anywhere. Cincinnati's coming to him. He's thrown for almost over 650 yards. He only has 3 touchdowns so far this season.
Yeah.
But Derek Carr is coming to Washington.
Right.
From Oakland. It's not going to be a late game.
Yeah. Not going to.
He's thrown for 492 yards and 5 touchdowns.
It's a lot of touchdowns.
I think he's going to throw for some yards and some touchdowns here.
Yes.
But I also believe that they aren't going to be as many as Aaron Rodgers against Cincinnati, especially because even though he had a decent game against Atlanta, Rodgers is looking to put more points on that board.
Yeah. Yeah, they lost, right? Atlanta. It was not a great game, and I feel like Aaron Rodgers has that same Tom Brady-ish want to come back strong in him a lot of times. So I think he's going to come back against the Bengals, and I don't know. He's going to throw a lot.
Good deal.
I'm looking at my picks here. I might have to change my pick.
Uh-oh. All right, this is a tough one, particularly because I don't really have a lot of basis to make this entry.
Okay.
If you had to play Super Tecmo Bowl, do you prefer the Super Nintendo or the regular Nintendo version? This comes in from @Jads of all trades.
That's the easiest question of all time.
Go ahead.
It's the NES version. It's the greatest football game ever made for any platform ever. It's the greatest. Tecmo Super Bowl or Super Tech? Which one are you talking about? The second NES Tecmo Bowl game is the greatest football game ever.
I didn't have Nintendo, so I never.
That's crazy.
I didn't play them.
That's crazy.
The only time I ever played Tecmo Bowl was back in the olden days.
We played Sega football there one time.
Yeah.
We did that.
I played Sega football constantly. Joe Montana Sports Talk Football was literally my shit.
That was a good game.
That was a good game. So, sorry we didn't really have an answer for you, except Josh. Josh's answer is the correct one.
Bo Jackson, man. QB Eagles. Christian Okoye. If you were Christian Okoye in that game.
Oh, man, that had the Nigeria Nightmare?
You can't tackle that guy. He just was done. Score. Touchdown. Chiefs win. Steve DeBerg.
Atlanta Falcons Steve DeBerg?
No, Chiefs Steve DeBerg. I believe he was on the Chiefs at that point. He started with the Buccaneers, I think.
Question mark?
Somebody will tell us.
Finally.
Oh, God.
This question comes in from @FFFFF Podcasts. Is Brutal Moose actually a nice person, or is he a big old faker?
He destroyed you.
Let me tell you a little story about Mr. Brutal Moose. Not a nice guy. End of story.
Mike last night in our text thread was like, did Ian start 2 teams this week? Yeah. He killed you, man. I'm playing him this week. He's gonna annihilate me. I'm screwed.
I would like to reference his tweets to this particular thing. He came out guns blazing.
He did.
Josh's team is called the no flex zone. And he straight up blasted not Josh.
Yeah.
But the FFFFF podcast Twitter.
Unbelievable.
Are you ready to get fucking flexed this week? Comma bitch question mark.
He called me a bitch.
He did.
And he used my team name against me. That's a double whammy. I still love him though. I can't.
Also, his name in that league is not Josh Henderson.
Right, and there's an X over my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember last year when
his team name was Josh Henderson?
Yes. And I was like,
and I kept thinking he was you the whole fucking season.
I was shooting something, and you texted me, and you were like, "Oh man, you're gonna love your team." And I'm like, and I get on, and my team's like not that great, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And you were like, "You got like so and so," and I was like, "No, that's Ian, because he was me." Man, you know what? Fuck you, Ian.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Fuck that guy.
God damn it, he's gonna destroy me this week. It's gonna be brutal,
I'll tell you
man.
what though, I can't stay mad at him. He is fucking handsome.
He's so pretty. He's got the long hair now, and like I watched his video and I was like, those are like his hair is like Randall Cobb level eyes, but for hair.
Ooh.
So
now that is a compliment to give another man.
I all day long I'll compliment that boy's hair.
That's what I'm saying. That is
beautiful.
To compare it to the Randall Cobb's eyes from heaven, that is a compliment, period.
Yeah. Reminds me of when I had long hair. Or just hair.
I don't have the ba-da thing. This so that's not going to work. Josh Hansen. Oh man! So that's all the list of the questions. I want to thank you guys all again for participating in this week's hashtag, sending your questions, and of course to Andrew for emailing us in regards to his question the week prior.
Great question.
And now it is time to predict our week 3 superstars. Very quick show tonight. I say when the show is now an hour long, but the last couple episodes have been like an hour and a half. So we're moving right along.
Yeah, we're trucking.
We're trucking. So last week, Josh, you picked Tom Brady. Dalvin Cook.
Yep.
Jarvis Landry. And Greg Olsen. Now, Greg Olsen, unfortunately,
out for the year, probably.
He is probably out for the year. Right before he got hurt, he did have 1 catch and 10 yards.
Yeah. So if there's
if he would have kept up that pace for the whole season,
would have been great.
It would have been great.
Would have been great. Would have been. I had him on my team. Had to let him go. Sorry, Greg. Old Greg. Yeah. How did Tom Brady did great?
Tom Brady did great. 447, 3 TDs. Jarvis Landry was a super beast, especially if you had him in PPR. 13 catches, 78 yards. That's 13 points just on how many catches he had.
Yeah, that's a lot of catches. Dalvin Cook, not great.
Now 12 for 64. Didn't get the first TD as you predicted.
Did not get his first TD.
But I will say that you had 2 guys in Brady and Landry. You had 2 guys in PPR format that finished in the top 10 of scoring for the week.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good. I cheated. I picked Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan. Aaron Rodgers 343, 2-1. Matt Ryan 252 and 1. Rodgers did okay. Ryan did less okay.
Less okay.
I also picked my boy Kareem Hunt, 13 rushes, 81 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Unfortunately,
a couple catches for 28 yards. Julio Jones, I had 5 for 108. Solid day. It's no 13, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
And Zach Ertz, another solid day. 5 for 97.
Oh, you did great.
Hunt and Rodgers, I too. Oh, and Ertz actually. If I count Rodgers, Hunt, and Ertz, I too had several players finish in the top 10 of scoring last week.
Great job. Nice work.
So we actually improved quite a bit.
We know what we're talking about sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. With that in mind, who are you picking this week?
All right. I'm picking Aaron Rodgers at quarterback.
Okay.
He's coming back. They're playing the Bengals. Bengals are really, really stinky. That's it. Running back, a guy I have in my other league, and he is on the Steelers, and they're playing the Bears. I'm picking Le'Veon Bell. He's going to have to do something at some point. It's a keeper league, so I can't get rid of him, so you better do something. But I think he was away for the summer, not practicing, and I think he's got a couple of games in him now. And the Bears are a good opponent, I think, for him to run around.
I missed practice.
He missed practice. He's missed such a practice.
She missed practice.
Missed practice. Wide receiver, Randall Cobb for his dreamboat eyes. And someone's got to throw him the ball. Rodgers has to throw to somebody. So I'm picking Randall Cobb. I love his eyes. I love you. And Travis Kelce for tight end. He's been doing really great. And I don't know who they play. They play the Chargers, so that should be great. Because they're also very bad. There's my picks.
Okay. I'm having a little trouble deciding on a quarterback, but I think I am going to go with, actually, if you could believe this or not.
Uh-oh. Carson Wentz.
No, I'm not going with Carson Wentz. I'm going to pick Cam Newton.
Okay.
He's been not so amazing this season. He's just been getting the job done. But I think against New Orleans, at home in Carolina, he's finally going to be the Cam Newton people drafted.
I like that pick.
I think he's going to have a good game. Running back, I'm going to get off the Kareem Hunt horse.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. I have to. But this is pending his health for the game, but I think Jay Ajayi is going to destroy the New York Jets.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I think he's going to just destroy the Jets. There's just no way. Let me just quick look what he did last week. Last week, the first game of the season, 28 for 122. And that was against a much better team in the Chargers.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, I wanted to pick Mike Evans this week so bad, but he's going up against Minnesota, and Minnesota has been very good about shutting down number one wideouts.
Yeah.
So instead, I unfortunately,
oh no,
I am betting on Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh, it's the Eagles.
And this is another pending his health.
Yeah.
But I think Odell Beckham Jr. makes us look stupid this week.
I hope you're wrong.
I don't think the Giants win.
Right, but he's going to.
I think this is one of those games where Odell does some good things, and then gives people in New York kind of like, oh, see, we still got a little something, and then no. Tight end, I got to stop double dipping on everybody.
I don't know.
All the time.
I would go with Ertz again, man.
I would go with Ertz, but I'm going to flip it, and I'm going to go to my favorite AFC tight end.
Okay.
Not named Gronk, and that's Travis Kelce.
Two Travis Kelces.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think he's gonna do it.
Good picks.
I feel like I copy you all the time, but then also I don't care.
No,
it just shows how smart we are.
No, we don't copy. There's no copying. I don't think there should be a rule that we can't pick the same person if we both think that.
That's true,
right?
It's our show. We can do whatever we want.
Fuck it. I'll pick Travis Kelce every goddamn week. I don't give a shit.
When you come in the arena and you see me play, don't you? Absolutely. You see me give everything I got, right? Absolutely. Yeah. But we talking about practice right now. But it's an issue.
Say no more.
That press conference sure was a thing. What was that? 2003?
I miss those days so much.
When the Sixers were good, that was super fun.
Yeah.
Oh man. Hey, there's always Applebee's. You could see him there still.
I'm not convinced I'm going to see him at Applebee's the next time, but what can you do?
Did you tell me that story that he dropped fucking crazy money?
I thought it was at not Applebee's, but one of the a Champs or something in the Northeast.
Maybe. I thought it was the South Philly Applebee's, and I thought he bought so many boneless ribs or something like that. It was like some crazy stat.
It's possible.
I don't know.
It's possible.
We've eaten there. We've been there.
We've been to a lot of places.
We have. A lot of Applebee's.
A lot of Applebee's. I don't know what Applebee's slogan is, but Applebee's, if you're listening.
Eat fresh? Subway. That's Subway.
Eat fresh.
Slogan. They're not one of our weekly sponsors.
They're not one of our weekly sponsors. Unlike, and we'll just get right to it. Thanks again to our sponsors, Monster Ultra, 0 calories, 0 sugar, ultra flavor, Fleshlight. When you've got a boner, jam it in a Fleshlight.
There you go.
I'd also like to take this time to thank my wonderful co-host, Josh Henderson, taking the time to be on this while I'm accommodating my schedule while I'm down here on vacation. We didn't want to leave you guys hanging, and so thank you for joining me again this week, Josh. It's always a pleasure.
No, thank you. No, you don't have to thank me. You're the one who's accommodating the schedule. You're drinking. You're having a good time down there.
I have a good time doing this, so it's.
Oh yeah. One day we'll do a drunk one. I don't have to go anywhere the next day. We'll both get sloshy. Make some really good picks then.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be phenomenal picks.
Like savant.
Yes, the people won't even see him coming.
Yeah.
He's at Henderson1983 on Twitter. I'm at MLukeBrown on Twitter. As always, at FFFFF podcast on Twitter. And if you have any larger, longer statements you'd like to share with us, fantasyfootballfantasypod at gmail.com. That's it for tonight. We'll be back next week to see how everybody's week 3 went and how your week 4 is going to go.
Thank you.